you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. This is basically saying, try hard at everything you do. I have lived by this quote, and it has actually really paid off. I know I might have been like everyone else, but when I got an opportunity, although it might have been one of the coolest things I've been able to do, but it might not have been my favorite thing to do, so I just didn't do it. Well, soon figured out that I was missing out on all the fun. First thing that I've tried my hardest in is track and field. 2008, I went to nationals for the 4x400 meter relay and the 4x800 meter relay. 4x4 didn't do the best, but our 4x8 did pretty good. We were running, and I was the anchor leg, which is typically the fastest leg, and the third person was Blake, and he dropped, and he was not doing so good. He dropped back about 20 places. So there's about 75 people in this race, and we were in 74th place. And then it came to my leg, and I had to start going. So I sprinted the first lap, and I thought I was going to die, but I kept on going, and then we finished, and I ended up getting 15th. So for something that's a little less hard as that and a little more relaxing, it's probably one of my favorite free time activities, climbing. Whenever you'll see me, I have probably either if it's an hour or if it's full day, I'm probably going to be climbing. Whether it's just climbing a tree in my backyard or going to Colorado and doing one of the hardest flat faces that I've ever seen. And that was probably the biggest accomplishment for me. We're in Colorado, it was 2009, and we were climbing, and all of a sudden the guide was like, okay guys, we're going to go show you a very hard rock, seeing if you guys want to try it. So we go, thinking it was like, oh, we'll be able to do this, no big deal. You look straight up, you can't even see the top, it's so high. And the only way up was a crack. It was perfectly flat, it was so smooth, it was crazy. And the crack was about a foot long, maybe about that. And the way you climb a crack is you put a foot, you basically just stack your feet, and you're supposed to pull apart like this, trying to pull basically like you're pulling the crack apart, even though you can't really do that because no one's that strong. So I ended up doing that, and we got halfway up, and I didn't even think I was going to get 3 feet up. I got halfway up, looked down, see how high I was, and I was like, well, I'm just going to try a little bit harder. And somehow I ended up getting all the way to the top, and it was 300 feet tall, and I was the only one out of my brothers to do it, and my whole entire climbing crew. Now, something that I love and will forever be my life is triathlons. Some of you people have probably heard how dedicated I am to them, and I'm really dedicated. This is actually the triathlon, my latest one, and this was national championships, but the road up to that was probably one of the most craziest things I've done. I did my first triathlon in 2008. I was just on a little $50 mountain bike from Walmart, and just got a pair of goggles, like the ones with the shark fins on them, make them look cool, try to go fast. And I would get to the starting line, and you'd see these kids, and it's just like, guy next to me is about this tall, I'm this tall. Then he goes that. I was the smallest kid there. I was the most inexperienced kid too. These guys were doing it for a living, I felt like. There's 300 people, and I was thinking, well, I'm just going to do it, just have a good time. And I ended up getting 6th. I did end up going onto the podium, and that was probably one of the coolest things I've done. I took the next 2 seasons off for injuries. I broke my wrist and did a lot of other stuff at the same time. But I trained hard every day. It felt like I was just training harder. I was riding, I was swimming, and I was running every day. And then this season came along. It was probably one of my greatest seasons I've done in a while. I got first place in 3 different triathlons in the Iron Kid series, and I qualified for national championships, which was on the 17th, and now I am ranked number 4 in the whole entire nation. So one of the things that I do in triathlons that I love to do is biking. Biking is one of those things that no matter if you have an injury or you just not physically able to do a lot of stuff, biking's probably one of the things that you can do. It's very relaxing. It's actually really good for you, and it's probably one of the favorite things that I love to do out of all three sports. It's basically where I can think. It's pretty much my life, and whenever I'm having a stressful time, whether it's with my brothers or whatever, if I'm going through a hard time, I know that I just get on my bike, go on a quick 20-mile ride, and it'll be fine. It's where I can think, and it's basically been my life and helped me out a long time. Something else that's helped me out is probably going to be my religion. I mean, I'm not going to stand up here and give you like a full sermon, but all I can say is God's helped me through some of the hardest times, and all I can say is He's there for me, and all I know is He can help out in some of the hardest times. So now you're probably thinking, oh, this kid's a diehard at everything he tries. And although it may look like that, I call it something else. I call it dedication. Dedication to everything I try. And it's actually paid off pretty well. So next time, get that chance to take that winning shot, just take it anyways, because you never know. It might be the greatest thing that's ever happened to you.